Today I'm going to give you 10 easy tips so that you can get your home ready to sell. Now, I'm a South Carolina real estate broker and I literally have seen it all. I make these videos about real estate tips so you can avoid the pitfalls that are costly. Now, the one question I get asked all the time is, how do I actually get my home ready for sale in this current real estate market? So, what steps do you really need to take right now or when you're ready to sell your home? Now, these are 10 steps to take so that you can get top dollar in the shortest amount of time. Now, the first thing I want you to do is change your glasses and look at the house as a buyer. Change yourself from a homeowner to a home seller. Now, do you see any glaring issues that stand out or maintenance issues that you're aware of? Just think of all those things that you've been putting off because you've lived there and they may not have bothered you. But as a buyer approaches your home, they're going to respond either positively or negatively to what they actually see there. And you won't get a second chance to make a good first impression. So go ahead and caulk that bathroom if it's looking a little funky. Fix those nail pops in the drywall. Clear the drains if they're draining slowly. These little things that you may be putting off may not get noticed anymore by you, but you want to make sure that your buyer doesn't see this stuff. You want to change your home from the living condition to the showing condition. So go ahead and clear those gutters and take care of all those things up front because it may not be a big deal right now. But as buyers, naturally as human beings, we all look for what's wrong with the house, not what is right with the house. So if you can take all those objections away right up front, all they can do is say yes. So you want your house to pass the muster, not just by the home buyer, but also by the bank appraiser and the home inspector. Now, some things may seem insignificant to you when a buyer walks through your house. I see this all the time, and it's the look on their face. And they start thinking about all the work that they need to do instead of actually focusing on what they like about the house. They start getting distracted by all the work and they think that they need to do. And their perception of making an offer, it really does change quickly. So this is why I say this. Does all this make sense to you so far? Give me a thumbs up. Next, I want you to focus on the front of the house, the curb appeal. Now, most people are visual, so the first time that they see something, first time a buyer sees your home is through the pictures online. And what this does is this entices them to schedule a tour of your home, and that is your first showing. So, you need to make the most of the way it looks. Think about that entry area. That front door has to have a dramatic impact on how buyers will feel about the rest of the house. So completely pressure wash that house so there's no mildew. And the front door, make sure it has a fresh coat of paint and a neutral color because this is the stuff that brings them in. Then take a look at the bushes. Do they need to be trimmed? Make sure they're not overgrown or overpowering that house. If a buyer walks up to a house and the grass is not cut or the beds are not mulched, they're going to start to second guess what's else has been not maintained about that house, right? So they'll start discounting it in their mind, and that's not your game plan. You want to make sure that you get maximum dollar. So mulch is an inexpensive way to clean up flower beds. And also think about this. Your front doormat at the front of your house, if it's got some age on it or some years of wear, you may want to get a new one. As I say, the first impressions are the lasting ones. Condition as a seller is the number one thing that you as a seller have total control over. So as a buyer starts looking at the math, and believe me, they're consistently overestimating the cost of any kind of a repair that they may see. That's when you may get a lowball offer, and your goal again is to get maximum dollars, right? So if you have a small touch-up of paint that costs you, let's say, $100, and a buyer sees that as $1,000, this is the stuff that starts adding up in their mind. So that's when you either get a low offer or you don't get one at all. So get rid of those objectives up front. It only allows them to say yes. Now, the sense of smell, it's the quickest way to a person's emotions. Now, people buy on emotions. They make decisions not from the pain that they're feeling, but from the pleasure they're feeling. So the more a home evokes those pleasurable feelings, the more likely a buyer is to buy. So if you can smell it, you can't sell it. So make it fresh and clean atmosphere. Take care of or address all of those odors. It could be pets, it could be diaper pails, it could be your trash, take your trash out. All those things that you want to take a look at. If you can't do it, then bring somebody else in, a friend or a neighbor over to let them see. You can see it on a buyer's face as soon as they walk in, and it kills a sale before they even get started. But air fresheners may seem like you're hiding something. So make sure you don't overdo it with that, because that could make it even worse. Next, you want to brighten your home as much as possible, because brighter homes seem like they're happier places to live. And again, it's all about emotions and connecting buyer and seller together. So if you have dark walls, consider painting them lighter or a neutral color. That is a winning idea. Lights on, blinds open for all showings. If you have dark curtains, make sure you're thinking about changing them out with a lighter color. Bright and cheery rooms have a better vibe, and they're at the top of the list whenever a buyer is looking to buy a property. So really consider other things making it brighter. So think about your lighting. Your LED and fluorescent bulbs may be great while you're living there because you're conserving energy, but you're going to also have that blue or cold color or washed out. And it's not showing a home in its best light, it's its worst light. So replace those bulbs with a warm light bulb. As I said, a light and airy home, on the other hand, is the most sellable property. And there's something about the psychology of a buyer and the way they see it. Either it's someone else's home or they can imagine themselves living there. So this is when the sale actually happens in their mind. It's all about what a home feels like. Next, walk around your house and listen for odd noises that could distract buyers. Now, what I'm talking about is look for the squeaks, the rattles, and the noises from drawers, doors, if you got a squeaky door, or equipment. Lubricate and silence those noises. Tighten and dampen those squeaks wherever it's possible. Next thing you want to do is walk around your house and simplify or declutter the home. Now, this is a super important step. And why? Because the clutter will stop a buyer cold. If you get rid of that distraction for a buyer, they can focus on the house. Now, this costs little or nothing to do, but it's the best investment on time that you can make. And you can also take a while to figure out what is going to be going with you and what you're going to be getting rid of. So clear off those countertops, keep those areas clean, be sure to clean those windows, the doors, everywhere you touch, the baseboards, and the ceiling fans. Now next, this is an important step. Go into a closet, empty all this stuff out on a bed, take a look at all those items, and ask yourself, hey self, do I need this stuff for the next 90 days? Look, donate what you don't want, then you don't have to move it, or pack it up and put it in storage. You know, if you don't use it, lose it. Showing a larger space, on the other hand, and more storage area to a buyer is super appealing. Just remember, open space sells. Now next, everything from the cabinets, if you have, let's say, 14 plates and you only need 4, pack it up and store it. Buyers will open drawers and doors throughout the home, and they want to see if their stuff is going to fit in that area. So also organize the basement or the garage or any other storage area. And then try to eliminate as much clutter and stuff as possible. Just walk around your house. When a buyer walks through 2 homes that are exactly the same floor plan in the same neighborhood, yet one feels more open with less stuff in the home and the other has more clutter, almost every single time, I'm going to tell you, I see a buyer who will say, the one with the clutter they think is a smaller home, yet they're exactly the same floor plan and the same square footage. So this step makes a huge difference in a successful sale. Now the next one is a tough one for many people, and I really do get it. I get it because I've moved myself, but if you're still living there, I understand it's still your house, but depersonalize your home. I want you to think like it's a new construction or new model home. Take down those personal pictures, any religious items, knickknacks, collectibles. A buyer needs to make that connection. And it's not that someone else is living there, but they can envision themselves living there. And you need to make them feel like it's their home. And not that they're invading someone else's personal space. So start getting those boxes, pick up boxes, box stuff up, all the little things, because you're going to be moving anyway, right? Now, if you have a garage or an attic or storage space, put the boxes in there. And when you move into your new home, then you can take all out the family pictures and the knickknacks at that point. So what's next? Here's a question for you. When was the last time that you made a home improvement or you've updated your home, right? The goal is to maximize the equity that you receive from the sale of your home. So this spending money might enhance your home that you're vacating. It could seem like it's a bad idea, like putting good money after bad. However, some expenditures may actually pay off. An investment of a few $1,000s could save you from a buyer coming in with tens of thousands of dollars in a lower price. So the areas to consider and look at is your kitchen, your bathroom, your carpeting, the flooring, hardware or doorknobs and cabinet pulls. Take a closer look at this stuff. If the doorknobs are all shiny brass from the 1980s, you know what the buyer's thinking? How much is this going to cost to change all this stuff out? And again, this may be a $10 door handle, but in their mind, it's $100 each. So buyers are running numbers in their head while walking through a house. The bathroom could be perfectly serviceable, but I'm going to tell you, a mint green bathtub and a commode, that's going to get noticed. So in their mind, they're seeing dollar signs dancing in their head to update everything. But this improvement could cost less than your first price reduction. Now, if you haven't updated your kitchen or your bath in 20 years, consider bringing those things up to the modern standards. Next item, start interviewing agents early. Don't just go online and do a Google search for the pretty one, or your cousin's puppy dog who just got licensed and you want to give them a shot at it. It's your home. It's one of your biggest investments. Don't play around with this stuff. You know, before you hire someone, check their track record and look at what kind of marketing they're doing. You know, how are they going to be marketing your home? Or are they just going to go stick it in the MLS and just walk away? And you're going to be investing all these time, energy, and effort in your house, and they're not investing anything into it. So you want to make sure that they're exposing your home to buyers like a surgical attack, by land, by air, and by sea. You know, by hitting buyers on 3 levels: the in-town buyers, the out-of-town buyers, and the buyers that are also already working with other agents. You want to maximize your exposure so that you can get top dollar. Now, for an example, my real estate team will spend at least $1,200 to market our listings for our clients. We put skin in the game. So you want to make sure that your agent is investing appropriately to get your house sold. Now, my team also sets a communication schedule with all of our seller clients. So at least a minimum of at least once a week, our seller clients will be getting a report on what's going on with the property, the listing, feedback from showings, and much more. You know, the idea of stick it in the MLS and run, that's a failing strategy. Effective marketing, on the other hand, sells. So once you've made the decision to sell your house, you've hired that real estate agent to help. In order to show your house and sell it effectively, you need to provide the buyers with as much access as you can. Now, I understand you're still living there maybe, to get it easier to sell. Now, consider this. There's 4 things here to consider. Number 1, the lockbox on the door. This allows buyers to see the home as soon as they can with an appointment that you've allowed. Number 2, providing a key to the home. Now, this may require the agent to stop by the office and pick up a key, which slows down the showings for a buyer. Number 3, by appointment only. You might want your agent to set up a showing at a particular time and give you advance notice for 24 hours or something like that, but that's going to slow down the number of showings that you're actually going to get. And number 4, limited access. Now, this might mean you're only willing to have your house available on certain days or certain times of the day. In general, this is the most difficult and the least flexible way to show your house to any potential buyers. So I hope all this information was helpful to you. If you find this kind of information helpful, I hope you consider subscribing, because I have over 1,000 super helpful videos here on this channel. And if you did subscribe, guess what? I'm going to see you in the next video. See you guys. Have a good one.